But this was a big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark. This team is crazy. They are beating the #1 team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally developing a rhythm.
The Las Vegas Aces weren't just beaten. They were broken, humiliated, exposed in front of the entire basketball world. This was supposed to be the unstoppable dynasty, the golden standard of the WNBA. But on June 5th, 2025, inside a roaring Indianapolis arena, the Indiana Fever handed them a loss so devastating. It felt like the end of an era, an 81-54 annihilation.
I am in shock. The Indiana Fever just beat the Aces. The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old. Aces MVP, the refs, Fever is MVP, and Alyssa Smith. You're not wrong.
A 27-point demolition derby. And the most shocking part, the Fever did it without their brightest star, Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just a game. It was a funeral for a dynasty. Stick around. What happened next rewrote everything we thought we knew about power in this league. From the very first tip, the Fever played like they'd seen a ghost and decided to destroy it. 6 unanswered points. Aces scrambling, shots clanking iron. Las Vegas shot a pathetic 28.6% in the first quarter. Indiana's defense, impenetrable.
Guys, when did Indiana Fever turn into the best defensive team in the NBA? When? I mean, after that celebration from the Commissioner's Cup, we all thought they were going to come out here a little bit hangover. I mean, their defensive prowess has gone up 100%. In the first half, we have Aces down 22 points. We have only beaten Las Vegas Aces one time in 9 years. For those who do not know that statistic, we've only beaten them once in 9 years. Their defense is impenetrable. We have 28 points in the paint for the second quarter. We are shooting 90% from the field in the second quarter. This is insane.
16 points in the paint to Vegas 4. This wasn't competition. It was target practice. By halftime, the scoreboard screamed 46-24. The Aces, the defending champions, looked like a G League squad. Kelsey Mitchell was slicing through their defense like butter. Aliyah Boston owned the paint. And the Aces? Only one player showed up, Aliyah Wilson. But even she needed help, the refs seemed desperate to provide.
CC gang! Fever gang! Down goes the punk-ass Las Vegas Aces, everybody! Kelsey Mitchell, the road runner, out there dropping daggers with a 25-piece Boston Market with the rotisserie chicken, baked beans, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, every drink available. The tiny assassin, Harry McDonald, out there slicing through the defense, getting buckets. Asia crybaby ass Wilson, hold this L. You ain't nothing but a free throw merchant, goofy Indiana Fever. That's how y'all ball. I don't know what's going on right now, but y'all got the momentum. We can't wait till Caitlin Clark is back on the floor.
Here's where things got controversial. Deep in the third quarter, Lexi Hull boxes out Wilson perfectly. Textbook rebound. Clean. Fundamental. But then, Wilson reaches over Hull's back. Grabs the ball midair. Clear foul? Obvious violation? The ref stunned everyone. Jump ball. Jump ball. Even the broadcasters choked on disbelief.
The line a decent amount of times. A'ja Wilson, she got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for A'ja Wilson. 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field goal, from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10, Dana Evans. Oh my goodness.
This wasn't an isolated gift. Wilson shot 13 free throws, just 4 fewer than the entire Fever team. Asia Whistle Wilson, they called her. A free throw merchant feasting on phantom calls. She finished with 29 points. Empty, hollow, because her teammates, they combined for a jaw-dropping 7 for 43 from the field.
And Asia Whistle Wilson, my God, you see how many free throws that lady had? Oh my God, on the stat sheet she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man, and without Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean?
Chelsea Gray, the one some claimed was better than Clark, vanished. 2 points, 5 turnovers, more turnovers than points and assists combined. Point guard? More like point fraud. This wasn't just a win. It was a systematic deconstruction of the dynasty's aura, brick by painful brick.
Really put it on right here. You can see 24 points in the first half for the Aces. I mean, seriously, for the Aces. Points in the paint, 38-20. I mean, it was a dominant win by the Indiana Fever.
Kelsey Mitchell wasn't just scoring. She was conducting an orchestra of devastation. Her 25 points felt like 50. Each basket a dagger plunged deeper into the heart of the Aces' fading mystique. Remember that early third quarter push Vegas tried? That faint heartbeat of hope? Mitchell snuffed it out cold. A pull-up 3 from the logo when the shot clock screamed desperation. A hesitation drive, so smooth it left Chelsea Gray grasping at ghosts, finishing with a left-handed kiss off the glass.
The third. Like I said, the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to wheel the Aces back in. And Sophie Lexi stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already. And in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And you see her just losing it up here. Losing it. And she got teed up right there. And Caitlin Clark loved it.
Then, the coup de grace. A steal near midcourt, turning defense into offense in a blur, finishing the break with a layup that sent the crowd into a frenzy and forced Becky Hammond into a timeout, her face etched with disbelief. Mitchell wasn't playing basketball. She was administering a masterclass in high-pressure execution, proving the Fever's engine doesn't stall without its brightest star.
I don't know about frustrations boiling over as more to just like making a point. Well, Caitlin says she got me though, so. One more than that. She just got a bonus.
And by bonus, she was meaning the Commissioner's Cup bonus, which was $49 or $43,000 per player, because the prize pool was $500,000. And apparently, Steph White just was pissed about the officiating. I don't know if it was Asia Wilson's whistle or what, but
Aliyah Boston didn't just play, she imposed her will. The narrative was supposed to be Aya Wilson's dominance. Instead, Boston authored a counterscript of physical defiance. Every time Wilson caught the ball in the post, Boston was already rooted, arms wide, feet churning like pistons, denying deep position. She didn't just box out, she erased space. That crucial rebound in the third wasn't luck. It was a culmination of Boston consistently sealing Wilson off.
I'm about to say some words I never thought I'd say. Free Asia Wilson. Free her now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. I never thought I'd say this. If I'm Asia, I'm in that locker room. I'm stripping everybody of their A1s. I'm sure I didn't give y'all these free shoes and y'all gonna come out here and y'all can't even give me more than 5 points. None of y'all, where y'all at? Y'all can't help me out. I'm reigning MVP. I'm bringing y'all these champions. I took a pay cut for some of y'all to be here and you can't give me no points. Really, I'm over here. I have 25 points in the third quarter and you can't give me nothing.
Using leverage and sheer determination to claim airspace Vegas thought belonged to their MVP. Her 20 points weren't finesse. They were blue-collar brutality, putbacks through contact, hard rolls to the rim where she absorbed bumps and still finished, and a series of short jumpers Wilson couldn't disrupt because Boston created just enough separation with her strength. She didn't just score, she demoralized. Each bucket felt like a personal challenge answered, a declaration that the Fever's interior wouldn't be bullied. Natasha Howard, the Commissioner's Cup MVP, wasn't resting on laurels. She was building a monument. Her 11 points and 10 rebounds only tell half the story. Watch her movement without the ball, constant, intelligent cuts that stretched the Aces' already frayed defense. See her setting bone-jarring screens that freed Mitchell for open looks or sprung Boston for deep seals. That double-double was earned in the trenches, battling Jackie Young for loose balls, tipping rebounds to teammates, and providing a terrifying weak-side shot-blocking presence that made Aces guards think twice about venturing into the paint. Her energy was infectious, a veteran presence radiating calm confidence while playing with ferocious intensity. She was the glue, the stabilizer, the embodiment of the next woman up mentality that defined the Fever's night. The stat sheet screamed symphony, 24 assists on 31 made baskets. Think about that. Over 77% of their scores came directly from a teammate's unselfish pass. This wasn't isolation hero ball. It was basketball as high art. Picture the sequence early in the second quarter. Crisp ball reversal from the top, swinging side to side, forcing the Aces defense to scramble. Then, a perfectly timed backdoor cut from Lexi Hull, met with needle thread bounce pass from Erica Wheeler for an uncontested layup. Later, a high pick and roll with Mitchell and Howard. Mitchell draws two defenders, fires a laser skip pass to an open Kelsey Mitchell, no relation, in the corner for a rhythm three. Unselfishness wasn't a choice. It was their DNA that night. Every player touched the ball, every player moved with purpose, and every pass seemed to find the open shooter with uncanny precision. It was a devastating display of team chemistry against a Vegas squad looking increasingly like disconnected individuals. But the true masterpiece, the element that transformed this from a great win into a historic dismantling, was the defense. Holding the Las Vegas Aces, a team boasting multiple All-Stars and an MVP, to 26% shooting is almost incomprehensible. This wasn't just a bad shooting night. It was a defensive stranglehold applied for 40 relentless minutes. It stands as the worst defensive performance in the entire franchise's history, a record no team wants. How did they do it? Every single switch was executed with telepathic understanding. When Jackie Young tried to use a screen, her defender fought over the top seamlessly, while the player guarding the screener momentarily switched onto Young, denying any driving lane or pull-up jumper, just long enough for the original defender to recover. Rotations weren't just timely, they were precise. Help defenders slid into driving lanes milliseconds before the ball handler arrived, drawing charges or forcing awkward, contested floaters. Closeouts on shooters were controlled and disciplined, hands high, feet set, never biting on shot fakes. There was no gambling, no lazy closeouts, just fundamental high effort, connected defense on every single possession. The communication was audible courtside, constant calls, pointing, directing. They anticipated passes, jumping into lane for steals that ignited fast breaks. They contested everything, hands constantly in faces, making even open looks feel rushed. The Aces' frustration mounted visibly, forced passes into traffic, rushed shots early in the clock, hesitant drives that ended in wild heaves as the shot clock expired. The Fever didn't just offend the player with the ball. They defended the entire system, disrupting actions before they could develop, making the Aces play in mud. This defensive performance wasn't just good. It was historically, statistically, and visually dominant. It was a clinic in collective will and tactical execution. And amidst this symphony of team excellence, there was Caitlin Clark. Not in uniform, but undeniably present. Watch the bench footage closely. She wasn't a passive observer. She was the Fever's emotional epicenter. When Mitchell hit that deep three, Clark was the first one leaping, towel waving, screaming raw encouragement. During timeouts, she wasn't sitting passively. She was huddled with teammates, gesturing emphatically, clearly locked into the game plan, offering insights or pure fire. When Stephanie White earned that technical foul, Clark's reaction wasn't dismay. It was a fierce nod of approval, a shared understanding of the fight. Her energy was palpable, a constant current of belief and intensity flowing from a bench to the court. She celebrated Boston's rebounds like they were her own, winced at near misses, and high-fived every player coming off the floor. This was leadership stripped bare, not about personal stats, but about amplifying the team's spirit, maintaining focus, and fueling collective fire. Her presence, even in street clothes, radiated confidence and galvanized the team, proving it was far more than just one phenomenal rookie. Her unwavering support was the invisible thread weaving through every defensive stop, every unselfish pass, every basket that chipped away at the crumbling dynasty across the court. Leadership wasn't on the stat sheet. It was radiating from seat zero. The air in Gainbridge Fieldhouse crackled. A faint, desperate pulse still flickered in the Vegas bench. Down 22, but early in the fourth, Aliyah Wilson muscled inside, missed a heavily contested layup against Aliyah Boston. As the rebound carommed loose, Kelsey Plum and Lexi Hull lunged, bodies tangled, a whistle shrieked, foul on Hull. The crowd's roar instantly morphed into a deafening, disbelieving BOO. Replays flashed. Minimal contact, incidental entanglement at best. It wasn't the first questionable call benefiting Vegas, but it felt like the final straw. It landed directly on Coach Stephanie White's last nerve. Watch her. Before the call, she's prowling the sideline, intense but controlled, diagramming defensive adjustments during the dead ball. The whistle blows. Her head snaps toward the official. Disbelief, then a slow, volcanic burn ignites. She takes one step onto court, then another, her finger jabbing the air, voice cutting through the arena's din. Are you serious? What was that? That's not a foul. Not even close. The veins in her neck cord. Her face, usually a mask of focused intensity, is flushed crimson with righteous fury. She doesn't hold back. She can't. The injustice, the accumulation of perceived advantages gifted to Wilson and the Aces all night. The sheer audacity of this call with the game still theoretically within reach for Vegas. If they could somehow string stops together, it erupts. She advances further, her words sharp, unfiltered, pouring out in a torrent of frustration directed squarely at the offending official mere feet away. The official meets her glare, hand raised in warning. White doesn't flinch. She doubles down. You're taking this from them. You're taking this fight from my players. Tweet. The sharp, unmistakable sound of the technical foul whistle, arm extended, finger pointed directly at her. The transformation was instantaneous. The crowd's boos exploded into a frenzied, approving roar, a primal sound. It wasn't anger at the tech. It was a collective release, a validation of their own frustration, channeled through their coach. On the Fever bench, players didn't slump. They jumped. Erica Wheeler slammed a towel on the floor, screaming approval. Caitlin Clark, forget beaming. She was erupting, leaping to her feet, eyes wide, a fierce, almost feral grin splitting her face, clapping furiously, nodding her head as if shouting, "Yes, finally. That's what I'm talking about." It wasn't just support. It was pure, unadulterated adrenaline, recognition of a leader drawing a line in the sand. That tech wasn't a mark of defeat. It was a battle standard raised. The energy surge didn't just hit the bench. It electrified the 5 players on the floor. Watch their eyes. Second before the tech, there was focus, effort, but perhaps a hint of weariness from battling not just the Aces, but the whistle. After the tech, Kelsey Mitchell locked eyes with Aliyah Boston. A silent, fierce understanding passed between them. Natasha Howard clapped her hands once hard, like a gunshot, and crouched lower in her defensive stance. Erica Wheeler's jaw set. Lexi Hull, the one just penalized, looked not deflated but dangerous. White's explosion wasn't a loss of control. It was a calculated detonation, a jolt of pure defiance that supercharged her team. The message was crystal clear. They won't save them. We win this ourselves. Right now. That technical free throw Vegas shot, it felt utterly meaningless. A hollow point in the face of the Inferno White had just ignited. What followed wasn't just a run. It was a merciless, systematic annihilation. A 35-7 blitzkrieg that didn't just seal the win. It etched the Fever's dominance into the Aces' psyche. How does a dynasty crumble in 12 minutes? Let's break it down possession by possession. Exposing the fracture lines White's fury exposed. The immediate spark. Possession 1, I&D Mitchell, eyes blazing, receives the inbound. No hesitation. She drives hard right at Chelsea Gray, drawing contact and finishing a tough layup high off the glass. And 1. The free throw swishes. The lead balloons to 25. Mitchell stares down the Aces bench as she backpedals. Possession 2. LV Wilson tries to post Boston. Boston, fueled by the Tech's energy, fronts aggressively, denying the entry pass. Jackie Young forces a contested 18-footer Airball. Natasha Howard snags a board. Possession 3. IND crisp ball movement. Wheeler to Howard at the high post. Howard instantly fires a bullet pass to a cutting hull under the basket for an uncontested layup. 27-point lead. Becky Hammond's timeout plea falls on deaf ears. The Aces look shell-shocked. Systematic demolition. 2 to 6 o'clock. Defensive suffocation. The Fever's defense reached another stratosphere. Switches were instantaneous, communication deafening. They trapped ball handlers 30 feet from the basket, forcing rushed, panic passes. Kia Stokes catches the ball near the three-point line with no idea what to do, travels. Plum drives into a forest of arms, blocked by Howard. Young tries a cross-court pass, stolen by Wheeler, leading to a Mitchell pull-up 3 in transition. 30-point lead. The arena is pandemonium. Offensive ruthlessness. Indiana didn't settle. They attacked the rim relentlessly, smelling blood. Boston bullies Wilson for an offensive rebound putback. Howard seals a defender for an easy hook shot. Wheeler blows by a flat-footed Gray for a layup. Every Fever basket felt like a hammer blow. The assists kept coming, unselfish, punishing basketball. The complete collapse. 6 o'clock. Final buzzer. Ace's spirit broken. You could see it in their body language. Shoulders slumped. Heads down. Minimal communication. Wilson yelled for the ball, but even her efforts became frantic. Forced misses. Gray looked utterly lost, dribbling the ball off her foot out of bounds. Plum launched deep, contested threes early in the shot clock, missing badly. Hammond cycled through timeouts, substitutions, but nothing worked. The fight was gone. They were playing out the string. Fever's relentless march. Indiana didn't let up. Rookies Damiris Danas and Celeste Taylor entered, playing with the same defensive intensity and offensive purpose. Dantas hit a smooth baseline jumper. Taylor stripped Kirsten Bell clean, leading to a fast break layup. The lead hit 35. The final minutes were a coronation. Boston grabbed her 10th rebound. Mitchell dished her 7th assist. Howard swatted away one last, futile Aces attempt. The buzzer sounded. 81 to 54. 7 points. 7. In 12 minutes of basketball against a team supposedly fighting for its life. Let that number resonate. It wasn't just low scoring. It was the sound of a dynasty's engine sputtering and dying on the court. Why was the surrender? No adjustments. Hammond couldn't find an answer. The Aces ran the same stagnant sets, expecting different results against a defense playing possessed. No leadership. Beyond Wilson's individual efforts, which became less effective as the quarter wore on, no way stepped up vocally or through play to stem the tide. Gray was invisible. Young was ineffective. Plum was erratic. No resilience. True contenders absorb a punch. The Aces, after White's Tech and the subsequent Fever surge, didn't just take a punch. They folded. They showed zero capacity to weather the emotional and tactical storm. No fight. The lack of hustle plays, diving for loose balls, taking charges, aggressive box outs, in the final minutes spoke volumes. They conceded. Publicly. Emphatically. White's fury. Beyond the moment. Calculated risk? Was this pure emotion or a masterstroke? White knew her team. She saw the simmering frustration at the officiating threatening to boil over into distraction or defeatism. Her explosion channeled that raw energy into pure, unadulterated fuel. It unified her team under a banner of us versus the world, protecting her players. By absorbing the technical herself, she shielded her players from potentially costly technicals or frustration fouls. She took the heat, freeing them to play, sending a league-wide message. This wasn't just about one game or one call. It was a declaration that the Indiana Fever wouldn't be pushed around, wouldn't accept perceived injustices lying down. It announced their arrival as a team with teeth, a team with fire, a team that would fight for every inch. No more favors, no more fear, became their mantra in real time. The legacy of the Tech. Stephanie White's technical foul wasn't just a footnote. It became the defining moment of the game and arguably a turning point for the franchise. It crystallized the Fever's transformation from a promising young team to a fearsome unit with an undeniable edge. It showed they had a coach willing to go to war for them and players ready to charge into battle behind her. That single furious outburst didn't just light an inferno that consumed the Aces. It forged the Fever's identity in fire. They weren't just winners that night. They were warriors. And the basketball world took notice. The dynasty didn't just lose. It was exposed, humbled, and ultimately broken by a team that finally found its fearless voice, screamed through its coach, and then let its play do the deafening, undeniable talking. So what does this mean? the Fever snapped a 16-game losing streak against Vegas. 16. A psychological barrier shattered. They proved they can dominate the league's best without their superstar. But the Aces? Alarm bells are blaring. Wilson can't do it alone. Gray looks lost. The dynasty looks fragile, beatable, and the whispers are getting louder. Did Vegas peak too soon? Is the crown slipping? One thing's undeniable. The Fever aren't just coming. They've arrived. With Clark returning soon, this could be the dawn of a new era. If this takedown of a dynasty shocked you, smash that like button. It tells YouTube this story matters. The Fever prove heartbeats hype. Vegas? They've got soul searching to do. This is your WNBA on notice. For the raw, unfiltered truth the box scores won't show. Subscribe. The revolution's just getting started, and you won't want to miss what happens next.